So the last news story we have that kind of shook the K-pop world was this rapper named Void. He's a nobody, but he had Keemstar, who is kind of the king of being an asshole on the internet, um, collaborated to make a K-pop stan diss track, which normally I would not like to bring up, but trigger warning, December 18th. Oh, I guess I'll put a timestamp to skip. If you are a show wall and this is a sensitive topic, but he made a joke about K-pop idols killing themselves, and then used a picture of Jonghyun's funeral, and I thought that was so sick and just so crossing the line.
Just disturbing.
I have heard if it was just about stans, which it even, like, the song wasn't even about stans, like, ever. It was always about idols. It was so weird. They said it was a...
Best thing I've
I
ever
didn't
heard.
watch it. To be fair, I haven't seen it, but I did, one, go off on Twitter about this, and two, I went and watched his little, not even, it wasn't an apology, I will not call it that because it was not, his explanation video, which is, his video of excuses. Mm-hmm. And essentially he was talking about how he was criticizing the K-pop industry for how we fans always claim that it's so demanding and high cost, and that's what led to, the tragedy. But first of all, a diss track is either one of two things: meant to be disrespectful or harmful to the community that you're dissing, or funny. Neither of those things should ever include a person's funeral in them, ever, for any reason, anyone's funeral.
That's a fact.
Like, that's morbid and terrible and just inhumane. And specifically because of how tragic Jonghyun's passing was for everyone involved. Like, the pictures are literally of him and, like, his family and friends crying while they carry the casket at the funeral. That's not normal of you to consider this and put it into a diss track of fans of the industry he worked in. That's way over the line.
Absolutely.
It's so insensitive and so crazy. And then after that, Void had the nerve to get online and say that he wasn't going to apologize. None of us deserved an apology. If we're triggered, then good. He didn't care. Just terrible. Like, you are just a terrible human being at that point. If you can't admit your mistake, like, you can make mistakes. Was it a stupid mistake? Absolutely. You can make mistakes, though, as long as you apologize, correct yourself.
Yeah, but it wasn't a mistake. That was very much intentional to be inflammatory and to be disgusting.
He was being racist, too. I don't know what he's talking about. Like, I understand he's framing it as, I was attacking the K-pop industry, but we watched it, and I don't know what he was trying to do. He was being racist, attacking idols for things they can't control. It wasn't like some type of commentary on the K-pop industry at all. That was probably like a fraction of it. I would say like 2%.
Yeah, that was like a lame video. It was like a lame excuse. Basically, like, most of the video he talks about the fact that they can't date. Like, that's like most of the diss that he's got. Like, gotcha, K-pop stans, your idols can't date. Like, what does this have to do with stans? Like, you're not even dissing us. Like, he didn't mention fan cams, fan wars, all the other weird shit that stans are known for. He did not mention any of that. He literally just attacked idols, made a joke, basically made the dumb, stupid, all Asians look the same joke when he, like, said, like, I hate Jimin, and then put a picture of Jungkook instead. And then he, like... they made the same joke about Jimin twice. They were like, I hate Jimin. And I was like, that's not a joke. Like, it wasn't even, like, there was no flow. It wasn't funny. Nothing about it was clever. Like, it was, like, the most half-assed effort I've ever seen. like the beat was bad. Like amongst all the other things wrong with it, it just sucked. And then he called K-pop idols an invasive species, which is like so.
He called.
Yeah.
It wasn't K. Well, yeah, it was idols, but the picture that he put up was just. I just want to point. It was just of Asian people, and the lyrics made it seem like he was just talking about Asian people in general. Like clearly,
it was really bad, and for him to be like, "Oh, I'm just criticizing the industry," is such bullshit. He was clearly trying to be mean and to get views for being an asshole, which is.
But like, that's first of all, I didn't see it, so that's way that makes it. I can't explain how bad that is. Literally, the only part that he gave an explanation for, though, was that part, because that's the one that people, or I saw most being offended by or hurt by, because I refused to watch the video, because I thought it would be stupid to make myself angry by watching that. But, yeah, see, now this, I'm not gonna lie, I went on 3 different YouTube accounts and reported the video, just without even watching
I reported it.
But now I'm just like blown away by the gall, especially during a time where like there is a lot of hate being like exposed in the American like society towards the Asian community. And I'm just like,
yeah, he did that absolutely on purpose. I know Keemstar from his beef with like every YouTuber ever. He's that kind of guy. He's never been funny. He's never been clever. His only thing that he can do is be rude. And that's his shtick.
What a like
so and he's like dumb. It's like a sad man. Like, you know, it's pathetic.
He's miserable. 40 years old. This man
You're like miserable.
You are 40 years old.
Worrying about what teenage girls like. This is a weird thing. We've talked about it many times before, but I don't understand what it is with grown ass white men and being mad at whatever pretty boy of the moment teenage girls are into. Who, like, you are an adult. Why does it matter to you that girls like Justin Bieber or One Direction or BTS? And now with BTS, you get to add your old little racist thing to it too. So, but it's just mind-boggling to me that a grown-ass adult cares this much about it. Like, what is the deal?
And they try and pretend like it's not coded racism and xenophobia. They just want to pretend like it's because of the fans and how crazy. First of all, fans are not brainless, and there are lots of them for a reason. Like, that's what makes people big. That's what made the Beatles big, is their fans. So, like, for everyone, every time something new, like a new phenomenon comes about, obviously the first people on it are usually, especially if it's a male artist, are like, you know, young adult women. So I don't understand why every time this happens, we act like it hasn't happened before and try and like tear these artists down. Like, you're right. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And now, because like, now they have like, right, you said, they sprinkle on some racism, some xenophobia, and like, they pretend like to say, they pretend that what they're saying isn't coded. Just like that German radio host wanted to say that he just hated BTS's cover. It had nothing to do with them being Asian when he likened them to COVID. Like, you couldn't be more obvious in your bullshitting.
Yeah.
So
it's so weird. It's so weird. It's literally the strangest phenomenon, and it's always like the fucking ugliest dudes too. And I guess that's the reason why. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like some kind of jealousy. Envy. But I'm also like, you should not be caring about what girls aged 12 to 20, you know, we're a little older than that demographic, but that's probably, I'm guessing, the prime demographic of international BTS fans. Even though, you know, we saw that whole like cool old people thing trending where it was like BTS fans over 40. So like it's everybody, but like, you know, we're talking the prime demographic of these kind of artists normally. Like, why do you care? They're not even your age. Like, that brings up a whole other set of issues, weirdo.
They're loud and passionate.
Okay.
Your point.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're brainless. Says who? I'm looking at 3 college graduates in the camera. Like, what you want?
What?
By the way, when I said that, I meant me too. I can see.
Yeah, exactly.
I can count.
We know numbers good. Okay, we're smart. It's a really weird phenomenon, and it happens every single time. Every time.
Do you have anything you want to say, Sky?
I feel like you guys have said it all. I think it's crazy. I feel like I've said enough. I don't really want to. I don't know. He's miserable. He's 40 and he spends his time trying to make other people sad. So it's like a pathetic existence, and there's nothing more to say about it.
Yeah, people love to hate what you love. Just love it anyways. There's no
point. You know, if it was just about K-pop stans, which it said it was supposed to be, I would have been like, whatever. I don't care.
Listen, I like diss tracks. Sometimes I like, even if they're like directed at me, if they're
funny.
Like, if they fit me and they're funny,
good.
I'll watch. Like, I'll be like, yo, that's kind of true. Like, that's kind of funny. I would think it was funny.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, like, a lot of K-pop communities I think are crazy.
Yeah.
Like I just think stan culture is kind of weird. I'm in it, and I can say that because I'm confident in it. But like, like, it would be fine if that was the case, but it was completely disrespectful and discriminatory and just makes you look insane.
You said this was about fans and like to address, you know, how fans have ruined Twitter and blah blah blah, even though One Direction fans have been doing this since, and Justin Bieber fans have been doing this since Twitter started, so this is nothing new. And even fans of like Western artists now, like I see Ariana Grande fan cams, like, you know, I see fan cams of everybody now. It's not just K-pop stans. He didn't even mention.
Man, I saw John Boyega fan cam. I think I see.
Yeah, John Boyega fan cam. I'm dead.
Joe Biden fan cam.
Yeah, I've seen fan cams of everybody. So like, he just wanted to say shit about Asians. It's so obvious. It is so obvious. You know, because he didn't say one thing about the fans.
Just embarrassing.
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 Grown-ass man acting like this.